Shake-Scene Shakespeare's Shaking Scenes this afternoon. I'm Linda and I'm book holder today, so I'm going to keep everyone on the straight and narrow. Okay, as ever, we have a great group of actors who always bring their best to you, our audience, and we welcome you gladly. Hello, actors. Hello. So we've got Fergus, we've got Susie, we've got Ashley, we've got Dewi, we have Larissa, who is playing that character at some stage, and we have Lucia as well. Jeffrey, and we have Jeffrey as well. So welcome. Right, so if you are new to the work of Shake-Scene Shakespeare, well, we are a theatre company specialising in cue scripting performances. Now, this means that the actors receive only their lines and their cues only. Why, you may ask? Well, in Shakespeare's day, the printing press had not yet reached its peak. Therefore, to save time and the expense of writing out multiple copies of the play in full for each actor, Shakespeare would give each actor only their lines and cues. There would be no group rehearsals, and all instructions and clues for the character would be embedded in the script. Now, the actors would go off and learn their lines and prepare their parts in isolation before meeting up on the day of the performances. Now, this way of producing a play is like disparate characters meeting at a party for the first time. And the story is revealed, bringing up surprises for both the actors and the audiences. Now, the role of the book holder was to, prompt the actors should they lose their way. And the book holder would be the only one with the complete copy of the play. Well, they would need a complete copy, so then they can prompt people as and when they need it. Okay, so there we are. So if they miss a line or completely dry, we will jump in with that line for them, and it's all fun, fun, fun. Now, we have 4 scenes to present to you today, and we hope you enjoy them as much as we do. Now, actors, if you can make your way to the virtual tiring house and gather yourselves, that would be great. Thank you. See you later. Before we do get started, we do have a donations link down below, and we would welcome any donations that you feel happy to give us. Now, those donations will be distributed amongst our actors to see them through this time, because a lot of actors have found it very difficult with the world the way it is at the moment. So anything you can spare will be most gratefully accepted. And we will also share a portion of the pot with the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust, who support young people to transform their lives by overcoming disadvantage and discrimination. So it's coming to that time where we go to the past to learn about our present. So actors, are you ready for our first scene?
Yep.
Right, so we have the first place. We are going off now, just outside the Palace Elsinore in Denmark. Prince Hamlet has just come back home to find that his uncle has married his mother after his father's death, and Hamlet has had a hard time coming to terms with these changes in his life. So, have we got Jeffrey, Fergus, and Ashley ready? When I go off, you come on. Have a good one. Enjoy.
And you, when I did love, me thought it was very sweet to contract at a time for my deal. Me thought there was nothing meet.
This fellow's no feeling of his business, that he sings at grave making.
Custom has made it in him a property of easiness.
But age with his stealing steps caught me in his clutch, and have shipped me into the land as if I'd been nothing such.
that skull had a tongue in it and could sing once, it might be a pat of a politician, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or a courtier, which could say, "Good morrow, sweet lord, how dost thou, good lord?"
Aye, my lord.
Whose grave's this, sir?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lie out on, sir, and therefore it's not yours. For my part, I do not lie in, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say 'tis thine, for 'tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou make it for?
For no man, sir,
What woman then?
for none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, but rest her soul, she's dead.
Absolute this knave is. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Oh, of all the days in the year, I came to it that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras. Oh, God.
How long is that since?
Can you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born, he that was mad and sent into England.
Aye, marry. Why was he sent unto England?
Why, because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there. If he do not, it's no great matter. There,
Why?
do not be seen in him there, the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark, I've been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, if he be not rotten before he die, it will last you some 8 or 9 years. 10 will last you 9 years.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir? His hide is so time with his trade, he will keep out water a great while. Here's a skull now. This skull is laying in the earth 23 years.
Who was it?
Awesome mad fellows it was. Who do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
Pestilence on him for a mad rogue. I poured a flagon of rainish over my head once. This same skull was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This.
Yeah, even that.
Let me see. That. Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest. A most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And how aboard my imagination is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set off the table on a roar. No one now to mock at your own jeering. Quite chopfallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favour she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked at this fashion in the earth?
In so, my lord.
And
In so.
smelt so?
In so, my lord.
To what base users we may return, Horatio. Imperial Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away? Oh, that the earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw?
Oh, well done. Thank you for that. I mean, no. I mean, would you hang around in a graveyard looking to have a conversation and then being confronted in such a way? Thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much. Bear with me a second. I cannot see. Okay, here we go. Right. The next scene we have coming up for you is As You Like It. In France, there is an awful lot of political upheaval. Things don't change so much, really, do they? So we are now moving over to the forest of Arden. And there has been exiled. We have Rosalind, who is disguised as a youth Ganymede. And we have Orlando. Orlando doesn't realize who Ganymede really is. And at time of upheaval, gossip can be one of those things that keeps things lively. And especially when the gossip involves other people's love lives. So, actors, are you ready?
Yes.
Ready?
Ready?
Who we have? Lucia,
We do.
Larissa,
Hello.
Rudy.
I'm here, but I've lost the screen.
Ah,
There we go.
are we okay now?
Yes.
Excellent. So we've got Fergus,
Yep.
Derek, and Ashley.
Yes.
Yep.
When I depart, which I presume I've already been departed, so if you could just come on.
My screen is lost again.
And how like you this shepherd's life, Mr. Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect that it is solitary, but in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well, but in respect it is not in the court, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humor well, but as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more, but that I know, the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is, and that he that wants money, means, and content, is without 3 good friends, that property of rain is to wet, and fire is to burn, that good pasture makes fat sheep, and that a great cause of the night is the lack of the sun.
Such a one.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever in
Could you say that again, please, sir?
such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg all on one side.
Huh, for not being at court, your reason.
Why, if thou never wast at court, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked, and wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a parlous state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behaviours of the country is most mockable at the court. You told me you salute not at the court, but you kiss your hands. That courtesy should be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance briefly. Come, instance.
Why, we are still handling our ewes, and their fells, you know, are greasy.
Why, do not your courtiers' hands sweat? And is it not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat? Shallow, shallow. A better instance, I say. Come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Your lips.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again. A more sounder instance. Come.
And they are often tarred over with their surgery of our sheep. And would you have us kiss tar?
More shallow, man. Mend the instance, shepherd.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest damned? God help thee, shallow man.
Sir, I am a true labourer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear. Oh, no man I envy no man's happiness. Glad of other men's good content with my harm. And the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you, to bring the ewes and the rams together and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle. If thou beest not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherds.
Here comes young Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no face be kept in mind but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so. 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted.
Oh, out fool!
For a task. If a hart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. Will offer kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Wintered garments must be lined, so must slender Rosalind. That they reap must sheaf and bind, then to cart with Rosalind. Sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. He that sweetest rose will find must find love, prick, and Rosalind. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
The tree yields bad fruit. Let the forest judge.
Oh, peace. Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Why should this desert be? For it is unpeopled. No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree that shall civil sayings show. Some, how brief the life of man runs his erring pilgrimage, that the stretching of a span buckles in his sum of age. Some of violated vows, twixt the souls of friend and friend, but upon their fairest bows, or at every sentence end, will I, Rosalinda, write, teaching all that read, to know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show. Therefore, heaven nature charged, that one body should be filled with all graces wide enlarged, Nature presently distilled Helen's cheek, but not his heart, Cleopatra's majesty, Atlanta's better part, sad Lucretia's modesty. Thus, Rosalind of many parts by heavenly synod was devised of many faces, eyes and hearts, to have the touches dearest prized. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave.
Oh, most gentle Jupiter, what tedious homily of love have you wearied your parishioners withal?
How now, fat friends? Shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, Sirrah.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honourable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, I heard them all, and more too.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of the wonder before you came, for look here what I found on a palm tree.
True you? Who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Change your colour?
I prithee, who?
Oh, Lord! Lord, it is hard matter for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed with earthquakes, so encounter.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee.
Wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful, and after that, out of all hooping.
Good my complexion! Dost thou think, though I am caparisoned like a man, I have doublet and hose in my disposition? I prithee, take the cork out of thy mouth, that I may drink thy tidings.
So you may put a man in your belly.
Is he of God's making? Or what manner of man? Is his head worth a hat, or his chin worth a beard?
It is young Orlando that tripped up the restor's heels and your heart both in an instant.
Nay, but the devil take mocking. Speak, sad brow and true maid.
I faith, cuz 'tis he.
Orlando.
Orlando.
Alas the day! What should I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? Wherein went he? What makes he here? Did he ask for me? Where remains he? How parted he with thee? And when shall thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
To say I and know these particulars is more than to answer in a catches me.
But does he know that I'm in this forest and in man's apparel? Look he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
It is as easy to count atomies as to resolve the propositions of a lover. I found him under a tree like a dropped acorn.
It may well be called Jove's tree.
Give me audience, good madam.
Oh, proceed.
There lay he, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Although it be pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground.
Cry hold to the tongue, I prithee. It curves unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous. He comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burthen. Thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know I am a woman? When I think, I must speak. Sweet, say on, say on.
You bring me out. It's soft. Comes he not here?
'Tis he. Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief have been myself alone.
And so had I. But yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you for your society.
God buy you, let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better, strangers.
I pray you mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favouredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You have a nimble wit. Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress the world and all our misery?
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I will not change. For your best virtue, I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
Oh, he is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under the habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is't o'clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There is no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had not that been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time ambles withal, who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who he stands still withal.
I prithee, who doth he trot withal?
Marry, he trots hard with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized.
Who ambles time withal?
With a priest that lacks Latin and a rich man that has not the gout. For the one sleeps easily because he cannot study, and the other lives merrily because he feels no pain.
Who doth he gallop withal?
With a priest that lacks Latin. With a thief to the gallows. For though he goes softly as foot can fall, he thinks himself too soon there.
Who stays it still withal?
With lawyers in the vacation, for they sleep between term and term, and then they perceive not how time moves.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place? Your accent is something finer than you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was in his youth an inland man, one that knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I've heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God, I am not a woman to be touched with so giddy offences as he has generally taxed their whole sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils that he laid to the charge of women?
Oh, there were none principal. They were all like one another.
I prithee recount some of them.
No, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man haunts the forest that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all, forsooth, defying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you tell me your remedy.
There is none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me how to know a man in love.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye and sunken, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. But I pardon you for that, for simply your having in beard is a younger brother's revenue. Then your hose should be ungartered, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements, as loving yourself, than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it? You may as soon make her that you love believe it, which I warrant she is apter to do than to confess she does. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves a well, a dark house, and a whip, as madmen do. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me, his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me, at which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything, as boys and women, for the most part cattle of this colour, would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, now weep for him, then spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humour of love to a living humour of madness, and thus I cured him. And this way will I take upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you, if you would but call me Rosalind, and come every day to my coat and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I'll show it to you. And, by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
Yes. Oh, yes, I'll go. Thank you so much, guys. That was really lovely. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Excellent. Right, thank you. The next one we have coming up for you is from the two gentlemen of Verona. And do we have Jeff, Susie and Lucia ready?
Yes.
Right, what happens here? It tells a story of two best friends, Proteus and Valentine, who both travel to the court of the Duke of Milan. And there, Valentine falls for his daughter, the Duke's daughter, Sylvia. Right, here we go. The Duke has already promised Sylvia to someone else. So, yeah, let's see what happens now.
Sir, your glove.
Not mine. My gloves are on. Oh, Sylvia, Sylvia.
Madam Sylvia, Madam Sylvia.
How now, Sirrah?
She's not within hearing, sir.
Why, sir? Who bade you call her?
Your worship self, or else I mistook.
Well, you still be too forward.
And yet I was last chidden for being too slow.
Go to, sir. Tell me, how do you know Madam Sylvia?
She that your worship loves.
Why, how know you that? I am in love.
Married by these special marks. First you've learned like Sir Proteus to wheel your arms like a male content, to relish a love song like a robin redbreast, to walk alone like one that had the pestilence, to sigh like a schoolboy that had lost his ABC, to weep like a young wench that buried a grandam, to fast like one that takes diet, to wash like one that fears robbing, to speak puling like a beggar at Hallowmass. You were wont, when you laughed, to crow like a cock, when you walked, to walk like one of the lions. When you fasted, it was presently after dinner. When you looked sadly, it was for want of money. And now you metamorphose with a mistress. And when I look on you, I can hardly think you my master.
Are all these things perceived in me?
They're all perceived without ye.
But tell me, dost thou know my lady Sylvia?
She that you gaze on, so as she sits at supper.
Hast thou observed that? Even she, I mean?
Why, sir, I know her not.
Last night, she enjoined me to write some lines to one she loves.
And have you?
I have.
Are they not lamely writ?
No, boy, but as well as I can do them. Peace! Here she comes.
Oh, excellent motion. Oh, exceeding puppet. Now we will interpret to her.
Madam and mistress, 1,000 good morrows.
Oh, give you good e'en. Here's a million of manners.
Sir Valentine and servant, to you 2,000.
He should give her interest, and she gives it him.
As you enjoined me, I have writ your letter unto the secret nameless friend of yours, which I was much unwilling to proceed in, but for my duty to your ladyship.
I thank you, gentle servant. 'Tis very clerkly done.
Now trust me, madam, it came hardly off, for being ignorant to whom it goes, I writ at random very doubtfully.
Perchance you think too much of so much pains.
No, madam, so it steed you. I will write, please you command, 1,000 times as much, and yet...
A pretty period. Well, I guess the sequel. And yet I will not name it. And yet I care not. And yet take this again. And yet I thank you, meaning henceforth to trouble you no more.
And yet you will. And yet another yet.
What means, your ladyship? Do you not like it?
Yes. Yes, the lanes are very quaintly writ, but since unwillingly, take them again. Nay, take them.
Madam, they are for you.
You writ them, sir, at my request. but I will none of them. They are for you. I would have had them writ more movingly.
Oh, please, you. I'll write your ladyship another.
And when it's writ, for my sake, read it over. And if it please you so, if not, why so?
If it please me, madam? What then?
Why, if it please you, take it for your labour. And so good morrow, servant.
Speed.
Oh, just unseen, inscrutable, invisible, as a nose on a man's face, or a weathercock on a steeple. My master sues to her, and she had taught her suitor, we being her pupil to become her tutor. Oh, excellent device, was ever heard a better, that my master being scribe, to himself should write the letter.
How now, sir? What are you reasoning with yourself?
Nay, I was rhyming. 'Tis you that have the reason.
To do what?
To be a spokesman from Madam Sylvia.
To whom?
To yourself. Why, she woos you by a figure.
What figure?
By a letter, I should say.
Why, she hath not writ to me.
What needs she, when she made you write to yourself? Why do you not perceive the jest?
No, believe me.
No, believing you indeed, sir. But did you perceive her earnest?
She gave me none except an angry word.
Why, she had given you a letter.
That's the letter I writ to her friend.
And the letter has she delivered, and there an end.
I would it were no worse.
I warrant you, 'tis as well.
Oh. Oh, some confusing exuing there. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. That was really lovely. Nice one. Woo! Okie dokie. The next one coming up is The Merchant of Venice. Another big scene for everyone to join in with. Hope you're enjoying it as we're going along here. Sorry about some of the technical hitches, but you know, the show must go on and on it will go. Right, so do we have, we'll give Jeffrey a little time because he has to go from one scene to another. Okay, well, this is happening in 16th century in Venice. And Bassanio hopes to wed Portia, but to have a chance of winning her hand in marriage, he needs to have a lot of money. And because Bassanio's rich friend Antonio is unable to help him, he goes off and he makes a deal with the moneylender Shylock. Now, Bassanio will get his money and without paying interest. If he doesn't pay it back, however, he will owe Shylock a pound of his flesh. Now we're at the part in the play where everything is revealed, all the unravels are raveled together, and all loose ends are tied up. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what happens now. I shall leave. So have we got Ashley?
Yep.
Chloe? Larissa?
Yeah.
Lucia?
Yes.
And Dewi, did I say you as well?
Yes, you did, and I am here.
I did say Ashley as well, didn't I? Okay, guys, I'm going off and you come on.
Let me give light, but let me not be light. For a life with doth make a heavy husband, and never be Bassiano for me. But God sort all, you are welcome home, my lord.
I thank you, madam. Give welcome to my friend. This is the man. This is Antonio, to whom I am most infinitely bound.
You should in all sense be much bound to him, for as I hear, he was much bound for you.
No more than I am well acquitted of.
Sir, you are very welcome to our house. It must appear in other ways than words. Therefore, I scant this breathing curtsy.
By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk. Would he were Gelt that had it for my part, since you do take it, love, so much at heart.
A quarrel? Huh? Already? What's the matter?
What talk you of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it you that you would wear it till the hour of death, and that it should lie with you in your grave, though not for me, yet for your vehement oaths. You should have been respective and have kept it. Gave it a judge's clerk. But well I know the clerk will ne'er wear hairs on face that had it.
He will, and if he lived to be a man.
Aye, if a woman lived to be a man.
Now, by this hand, I gave it to a youth, a kind of boy, a little scrub boy, no higher than thyself, the judge's clerk, a prating boy that begged it as a fee. I could not for my heart deny him.
You were to blame. I must be plain with you. To part so slightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with oaths upon your finger, and so riveted with faith unto your flesh. I gave my love a ring, and made him swear never to part with it, and here he stands. I dare be sworn for him he would not leave it, nor pluck it from his finger for the wealth that the world masters. Now, in faith, Gratiano, you give your wife too unkind a cause for grief, and 'twere to me, I should be mad at it.
Why, I were best to cut my left hand off and swear I lost the ring defending it.
My Lord Bassanio gave his ring away unto the judge that begged it, and indeed deserved it too. And then the boy, his clerk, that took some pains in writing, he begged mine. And neither man nor master would take aught but the 2 rings.
What ring gave you, my lord? Not that I hope which you received of me.
If I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it, but you see my finger hath no ring upon it, it is gone.
Even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will ne'er come in your bed until I see the ring.
Nor I in yours till I again see mine.
Sweet Portia, you did know to whom I gave the ring. If you did know for whom I gave the ring, and could see for what I gave the ring, and how unwillingly I left the ring when naught would be accepted but the ring, you would abate the strength of your displeasure.
If you had known the virtue of the ring, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, or
by
your
mine honour,
honour to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring.
no, by mine
They're so much unreasonable. If you had pleased to have defended it with as much zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing held as a ceremony. Nerissa teaches me what to believe. I'll die for it, but some woman had the ring.
No, by mine honour, madam, by my soul, no woman had it, but a civil doctor, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me and begged the ring, the which I did deny him and suffered him to go displeased away, even he that had held up very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. Mine honour would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Pardon me, good lady. And by these blessed candles of the night, had you been there, I think you would have begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor.
Let not that doctor e'er come near my house, since he hath got the jewel that I loved, and that which you did swear to keep for me, I will become as liberal as you. I'll not deny him anything I have. No, not my body, nor my husband's bed. Know him I shall, I am well sure of it. Lie not a night from home. Watch me like Argus. If you do not, if I be left alone, now by mine honour, which is yet mine own, I'll have the doctor for my bedfellow.
And I, his clerk. Therefore be well advised how you do leave me to mine own protection.
Well, do you so? Let me not take him then, for if I do, I'll mar the young clerk's pen.
I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels.
Sir, grieve you not you. You are welcome, notwithstanding.
Portia, forgive me this enforced wrong, and in the hearing of these many friends, I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I see myself.
Mark you that? In both my eyes he doubly sees himself. In each eye one swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me. Pardon this fault, and by my soul I swear I never more will break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for thy wealth, which but for him that had your husband's ring had quite miscarried. I dare be bound again, my soul upon the forfeit, that your lord will never more break faith, advisedly.
Then you shall be his surety. Give him this, and bid him keep it better than the other.
Here, Lord Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
By heaven, it is the same I gave the doctor.
I had it of him. Pardon, Bassiano, for by this ring the doctor lay with me.
And pardon me, my gentle Graziano, for that same scrubbed boy, the doctor's clerk, in lieu of this, last night did lie with me.
What? Are we cuckolds ere we have deserved it?
Speak not so grossly. You are all amazed. Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Belliario. There you shall find that Portia was the doctor, Nerissa there, her clerk. Lorenzo here shall witness I set forth as soon as you, and but even now returned. I have not yet entered my house. Antonio, you are welcome, and I have better news in store for you than you expect. Unseal this letter soon. There you shall find 3 of your argosies, and richly come to harbour, sewed in line. You shall not know by what strange accident I chanced on this letter.
I am dumb.
Were you the doctor, and I knew you not?
Were you the clerk that is to make me cuckold?
Aye, but the clerk that never means to do it unless he live until he be a man.
Sweet doctor, you shall be my bedfellow. When I am absent, then lie with my wife.
Sweet lady, you have given me life and living, for here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to Rhodes.
How now, Lorenzo? My clerk hath some good comforts for you.
Aye, and I'll give him without a fee. There do I give to you and Jessica from the rich Jew a special deed of gift after his death of all he dies possessed of.
Fair lady, you drop manna in the way of starving people.
It is almost morning, and yet I am sure you are not satisfied of these events at full. Let us go in and charge us there upon interrogatories, and we will answer all things truthfully.
Let it be so. The first interrogatory that my Nerissa shall be sworn on is whether till the next night she had rather stay or go to bed, now being 2 hours today. But will the day come, I should wish it dark, till I were couching with a doctor's clerk. Well, while I live, I'll fear no other thing so sore as keeping safe Nerissa's ring.
Yes. Thank you. Well done. Woo! Well done, everyone. Thank you for such a wonderful afternoon. I'm aware that you can't see me at the moment, so I'm going to carry on talking anyway. Right, so there will not be, thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And thank you for joining us this afternoon. Could you let me know if I am heard okay, guys?
Yes, we can hear you
Yes.
fine.
Yeah, we can.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. I just have a blank screen.
Yes, and I can't see anyone else either, so I don't know what's happening there. But anyway.
Should we turn the videos back on?
Yes, put your videos. Excellent. Right.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, woohoo! Well done, guys. Brilliant.
I'm sorry, I have to apologize for my really bad internet this Sunday, especially in As You Like It. It just kept cutting out all the time. So sorry, everybody up there.
Don't worry about it. We got the flow of it. It was lovely. And yes, super. Now, this is the only round we're having today. There won't be a 5 p.m. performance because we had a smaller group of actors. The world is opening up, and so it's, you know, everyone else busy and stuff. So, but next week, Sunday, 30th of August, is a day off. Okay, but we will be returning on Sunday, the 6th of September with scenes. And then on Sunday, the 13th of September, we have the full production of Troilus and Cressida. Looking forward to that one. And it's set in the later years of the Trojan War, which have been going on for 17 years. I mean, you know, really 17 years of warring. Right, here we go. What it is, but it's a story, it's a basic story of, like, you know, it's war and it's upset and it's death and everything, and Troilus woos Cressida. So please join us then to enjoy that production. And if there is a production that you would like us to have a go at, please do write it down in the links there, put in the chat. Just let us know what you'd like us to do and we'll do it for you. Okay, now we've already had Richard III, we've had Julius Caesar, and now we've got the lesser known one of Troilus and Cressida, and I must say we are definitely looking forward to that. So ladies and gents, thank you so much for today. There were some beautiful performances, and I look forward to seeing you all again. And I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I've told you all what we're going to do next week, which is nothing. We've got a day off and so on. All right then. Lovely to be with you this afternoon. Don't forget, we've got the donation button down below. And if you feel you can give something for us, that would be gratefully received. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you and bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.